Your personal development matters the most from where you are right now. Bring your career into new heights with our affordable and quality in-demand virtual training programs designed just for you. Give your career a boost with a course or a training from Stellar Training Consultancy Services and join thousands of professionals from different walks of life in a learning and development session that fascinates you, motivates you, challenges you to learn new things that you'll use forever in a career you'll love. Find the right training for you today here at Stellar Training Consultancy Services, bringing excellence to professionals.
Stellar Training Consultancy Services Vision and Mission. Vision. Stellar Training Consultancy Services envisions to provide quality, affordable, reliable, accessible, and innovative training programs in the Philippines, thereby increasing global competitiveness and career growth of every individual. Stellar Training Consultancy Services ultimately desires to provide learning and development to all communities and professionals while ensuring both professional and personal growth by the end of every program. Mission. Stellar Training Consultancy Services is dedicated and committed to provide high-quality, accessible, and professional development opportunities in the form of training, webinar, seminars, workshop, or conference. Stellar Training Consultancy Services training programs were created out of a strong passion, a shared vision, and a ceaseless commitment to making learning easily accessible from anywhere in the Philippines.
Panalangin bago magsimula ang pagpupulong. Panginoong Hesus, sinabi mo, kung saan may 2 o 3 nagkakatipon sa ngalan ko, kapiling nila ako. Panginoon, inihahandog namin sa iyo ang pagpupulong na ito. Gabayan mo kami sa aming pagtatalakayan at tanglawan mo ng liwanag ng Espiritu Santo ang aming mga isip upang makita namin ang naaayon sa iyong kalooban. Basbasan mo ang mga gagawin naming pagkilos at patnubayan kami sa bawat hakbang. Nagtitiwala kami na magiging maayos at mabunga ang aming pagtitipong ito, sapagkat narito ka sa aming piling. Amen.
Okay, there we go. Hello, good afternoon, lahat, and welcome to today's session. And this is all about overcoming procrastination challenges and productivity techniques training. So first and foremost, may I ask everyone here, can you all see and hear me clearly? Yeah, can you all see me and hear me as well? That's good, Ma'am Ella Rose. I think it's yeah, I think you've been here already before, Ma'am Ella Rose. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, it could be. But yeah, how about the other ones? Can you all hear me? Okay lang po ba yung yung audio natin? Let me know if okay. Thank you, Ma'am Ella Rose. Good PM po, Ma'am Richelle. You too. Ma'am Feli, Sir Dariel, Ma'am Michelle, Michelle, Clarice. Good afternoon. And yes, hello everyone. And I'm really excited to yeah, Ma'am Elmi, hello to you as well. Yeah, again, I'm really excited to have this discussion with you. This is a very common, I would say, issue for all of us, no matter what industry you're from, no matter what kind of job you may have, no matter what status you have in life. Procrastination is what levels, human beings. This is the pinaka-common, siguro I would say nowadays because of, I don't know, for a lot of reasons. But of course, the reasons of which will all be discussed in this training. Okay, so let me introduce myself. My name is Elmer Chong, and I'm a team lead client services working for the market research industry, specifically for EMEA UK. Although I'm based here in the Philippines. Yeah, so hopefully you're all comfortable, with the English language, but let me know if there's anything that you won't understand or you will understand. And I'll try to explain it a bit more. Okay. Good afternoon, Ma'am Sanchez. Hope you're all having a great Thursday so far. So isang araw na lang at magpa-Friday na rin. Really excited for the weekends, and I hope you all are as well. Okay, so I guess we can start this off by sharing my screen. Okay. There you go. Can you all see the material? But if you could all type in your message right there, it would be really appreciated. But can you see the material? Overcoming procrastination challenges and productivity techniques training. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, you guys. Very participative po yung ating mga participants ngayon. So that's really wonderful, I would say. Again, this is the topic about procrastination challenges and discussing about the productivity techniques. Okay? How are we going to overcome procrastination and so on? And here are our training rules, you guys. So number one, please turn on your camera for the first 20 minutes of the training for attendance purposes. So if you're all able to turn on your cameras, it would be wonderful to see your lovely faces, your handsome faces, right? So if ever lang na mabagal yung internet natin, then there's no worries. Or if you're ever in the office and you feel a bit, I don't know, um, not feeling it na may dumadaan sa likod. So also another thing, it's fine if you would turn that off. No worries. But yeah, second one, wear proper clothing since the session will be recorded for quality and management purposes. Again, this training is being recorded, and by the end of this very session, the training recording will have been sent to you by our team so that you will have something to review upon, you know. And together with that are the certificates. It will just be a couple of minutes or a couple of hours before it's going to be sent, but it will be within the day. And yeah, the lesson material as well. So you will have something to view after. Number three, please be attentive and be interactive during the discussion. So if ever there's anything that you would like to say, answer some questions, share your thoughts, your opinion, I would highly oblige everyone to, turn on your microphone. It's as easy as clicking the button of an unmute button and then speak up, right? It would be twice as great if I can hear some voices. Okay. And lastly, we do know that we all come from different walks of life, you know. We have different languages or dialects, you know, we believe in different things, you know, difference in our opinions, perspective, and whatnot, right? Uh, Together with that is our political affiliation. So we do believe in different stuff, but I do hope that in spite of these differences, still do hope na, well, you know, we can still all respect one another because, you know, we're all Filipinos and yes, it must be done. So, okay, so those are the only training rules that we have. Okay. So let's proceed to the program intended learning outcomes or the things that we're going to be learning by the end of this training. So number one, you'll all be able to understand the fundamental causes of procrastination and the impact it has on personal and professional life. Because again, a lot of us are experiencing this from time to time. It's not going to be, I mean, there are cases of chronic procrastination. There's also situational procrastination. It just depends on who you are as a person and what are your challenges in life, right? Number two, you'll all be able to identify and differentiate between the four main types of procrastinators and their characteristics. Number three, you'll all be able to analyze the psychological factors that contribute to procrastination, including fear of failure, perfectionism, and lack of motivation. And lastly, you'll all be able to learn and apply effective strategies and techniques to overcome procrastination and improve, at the end of the day, your productivity, or even for the productivity of your team. If you would like to pass this along your subordinates. So, a first question I would like to ask all of you is, how do you personally avoid procrastination? So when you're on the verge of procrastinating a task or a project or an assignment, if you're still going to school or an MBA or having a thesis or whatnot. Now, how do you personally avoid procrastination? By the way, what is procrastination in Tagalog? I'm not quite sure myself. Pagpapaliban. Okay, pagpapaliban. There we go. So, I'm gonna be waiting for your answers. Again, you can turn on your microphone or you can type in your answers in the chat box. It would be better if you would just open up your microphone para hindi na po tayo mag-type. It's much easier. Anyone? So, paano po natin naiiwasan yung procrastination? Based on your strategy, kung paano nyo po na-overcome yan. What do you exactly do? Like when you're about to you have an important assignment or a project and then you have to start it. Pero parang tinatamad ka or di kaya you feel that it's very still boring masyado simulan. So how do you overcome this kind of feeling? Okay, let's try to call on siguro yung mga participants. It would be great to hear your ideas po on this one. How about si Sir Dariel? Sir Dariel? Yes po. Can you turn on your microphone po so that I'll be able to get your answer po. There you go. Sige nga, sir. Can you speak up? Hello? Oh, parang walang audio po. Can you all hear Sir Dariel? Or am I the only one, I mean, am I the only one hindi siya naririnig? Wala taga Sir Dariel. I cannot hear. Okay, so it might be an ano po. Okay, thank you, session panelist. Yeah. It might be ano po, an audio problem. So no worries po if there's ever you have an answer, you can use the chat box na lang po. Thank you, Sir Dariel. Okay, so checking on the chat, we have here Ma'am Ella Rose. By setting clear goals, very good. Prioritize your task, yes. Practice self-discipline and reward afterwards. Very good. This is a very good answer, very profound. And yes, very laid out po yung sagot ni Ma'am Ella Rose. Good job. Ma'am Maria, maybe divert attention into a positive aspect, sir. Yeah, that could possibly be it, Try to motivate yourself in any way, you know. That's good. Eliminate distractions. Okay, Ma'am Ella Rose, yeah, that's also good. Yes, sometimes us procrastinating is because of yung mga mobile phones natin. It could be yung the never-ending scroll sa TikTok or mga reels or shorts sa YouTube. And yes, these are valid na mga distractions. And therefore, instead of us, starting or beginning our projects or assignments, or commencing on our making of assignments, nadidistract tayo. Very good. But yes, just going back a bit on Ma'am Elero's answer. Yes, if you would like to really overcome yung procrastination, then you must set clear goals. Yung bang goals na ma-achieve talaga natin, like in terms of time frame. So I would like to finish my assignment in 2 hours time. And then next with that is I would like to start as soon as possible, right? So prioritize your task. Ano yung mga pinaka-important task na meron ka? And then based on ano yung pinaka-urgent, ano yung pinaka-importante, then begin with that. And then saka mo na gawin yung mga hindi ganyan ka-importante, hindi din ganyan ka-urgent. Okay, very good. Sir Dariel, you may try to reconnect, leave the Zoom and enter again. Yeah. Sir Dariel, I think that would be better po. Okay, so these are very good answers. So if ever there's anyone here that would like to share their answers as well, please feel free to do so. Okay. Now, how I would prevent or avoid procrastination. And yes, one of the things talagang ginagawa ko is at the start of my day, I really like to check ano yung mga tasks na dapat kong gawin throughout the day. I always check ano yung pinaka-urgent. Ano yung like for example, the deadline is today or even tomorrow or the day after. For as long as ano yung pinakamalapit ng deadline, then of course I will try to finish that as soon as possible and not gonna wait for the day na talagang i-submit na siya or whatnot. And then what else? What else do I do? Taking breaks. Sometimes you're procrastinating kasi napapagod ka na, and you have to give yourself some rest because there should be this work-life balance. And kapag hindi nakakapagpahinga, then of course we will lack this motivation, this dedication towards work. We're gonna be out of focus kasi nga pagod tayo, you're sleepy all the time. So never be afraid to take some break. I mean, we deserve it. So aside from that, with what Ma'am Elaro said, reward yourself afterwards. Siguro yung mahilig sa mga milk tea or mahilig sa mga Starbucks, and after having some work, maybe drink milk tea or even coffee after that. But yeah, if it's gonna be too late na then having a cup of coffee will just delay your or at least mantala yung ating sleeping patterns. So better not. But yes, these are very good answers. Thank you so much, you guys. So let's proceed to our next pages and begin our actual discussion. Okay, so here we have the introduction to overcoming procrastination. Now, for those that are not too familiar with procrastination po is the act of delaying or postponing tasks or decisions, often leading to stress, reduced productivity, and missed deadlines. It is a common behavior where individuals choose to do more pleasurable activities instead of less enjoyable ones, despite knowing that it might lead to negative consequences. So just going back a bit, again, procrastination is yung kapag yung mga tao is dinidelay or pinopostpone yung mga trabaho nila or kahit yung mga decisions, when they have to make a decision for the team or for themselves or for their family. So that is procrastination. Now, the results of this usually ends in stress kasi nga it's either nagsasabayan na lahat ng mga trabaho mo na deadline na, or that your boss is already following up with your submission of your projects, and then hindi ka patapos, or worst case scenario, hindi ka pa talaga nakapag simula because of a certain number of things which we're going to be discussing later on. But yes, and aside from that, talagang nalagpasan yung deadline because of your procrastination, right? So it involves opting for yung mga pleasurable activities, 'di ba? Yung panonood ng mga sa mga cellphones natin, mga all kinds of videos, mga vlogs, right? And even paggagala, going to cinemas, going to the mall, going to the parks, going out with friends, having a drink or two, or even way too many. And then we choose this kind of things over the enjoyable, rather than yung mga hindi ganyan ka-exciting, such as work. I mean, for some people, or if not, for most people, work is not that enjoyable. Yes, it brings food to the table, but the question whether you're enjoying or not, maybe it's not, um, you know, hindi talaga siya enjoyable, basically. But yes, it is fulfilling. But for some people, work is not that enjoyable, really. Now, even though they are aware that this behavior might have negative outcomes, like a lot of negative outcomes can nangyari dyan. Now, uh, just diving in the psychological, ano, psychology behind procrastination. So there are a lot of factors that is being affected, or naging cause rather, ng procrastination. So we have the fear of failure, we have perfectionism, we have low esteem, we have anxiety. So a lot of things, right? So we have cognitive factors, posible yung time management issues, ba hindi mo alam paano manage yung time mo. For some others naman, yung lack of clarity, hindi klaro yung trabahong binigay sa atin. So therefore, because of your fear na magtanong ulit, so you just exactly don't know. So you try to figure it out, but you can't. So therefore, naantala yung ating trabaho, right? For some naman, in terms of motivational factors, we have boredom dahil nga tinatamad ka, or hindi siya ganyan ka-interesting na gagawin, right? What else? Environmental factors. We have distractions such as yung mga cellphones natin, or di kaya magulo yung ating workplace, di ba? Napakasikip, madaming papel, madumi, madilim, mabagal na internet, um, pangit na computer, sira-sirang keyboard or mouse na hindi gumagana yung uh, mouse wheel. This is me talking about experience. So even lack of support could be a factor of procrastination. Whenever you lack this supportive environment, because if you do have a supportive environment, it can actually encourage yung productivity. Okay, so a lot of things talaga nakaka-apekto in line procrastination. Now, we have two major types of procrastination. So we have the chronic procrastination, and we have the situational or situation procrastination. Now, just going a bit on the first one, chronic procrastination is a habitual pattern where an individual consistently delays tasks over a long period. It often affects various aspects of life, including your work, school, personal responsibilities, and can lead to significant stress and decreased well-being, right? So, in line with chronic procrastination, naging habit siya, and then napaka-persistent siya na pattern, right? So, para bang natural na siya sa'yo. This is like a very persistent na pattern of you to always procrastinate in everything that you do. Whenever there's an important thing to do, you just try to delay it for as long as you can. Now, again, it really affects all the aspects of your life. And it could lead to long-term stress, tsaka yung pagka-decrease ng ating productivity. Now, we have here an example. So an employee who consistently delays working on important projects until the last minute, resulting in rushed and low-quality work. So this is a very valid example. Kasi there are going to be employees talaga na hinihintay yung time na kung saan yun na yung araw of submission. And then mag-cram up siya, gigising na maaga, and then bamanatan niya lahat yan. And then, as you all know, when we rush things, it's not going to be quality of work. The reason for being is that hindi natin natututukan lahat ng bagay. So we just make everything just to you know just to achieve the bare minimum, basically. So ito yung specifications. Then siguro a little bit below that, yung nasasabit natin, better if talagang within standard lang. It's better if that's way. But meron talagang iba na talagang hindi talaga umabot sa specification. Talagang pangit yung quality. And aside from that, hindi rin natatapos yung kanilang, you know, meron silang nalilimutan, meron silang miss out, or di kaya mali na submit nila, mali-mali yung mga spelling siguro, mali yung mga names, and so on. And that is just one of the very outcomes of yung chronic procrastination. Another example, siguro, it could be yung isang software developer, consistent delays yung pagtatrabaho niya ng critical projects until the last minute. Now, yung resulta niya, of course, low quality of work, missed deadlines, na nakaka-apekto din sa team performance, tsaka sa project success, right? Now, if we're gonna be, like a life example, right? So, for example, isang estudyante habitually postpones yung pagsa-study sa exam. Pagtatapos sa kanyang mga assignments dahil nga gusto lang niyang manood ng mga TV or even hang out with friends instead. Now, this leads to mababang grado, increased stress, pinapagalitan lagi sa bahay, and the feeling of being constantly behind. Right? So, nagiging stress na siya, nagkakaroon siya ng depression because of this. But never really understanding that it was due to their procrastination. That's why it led to, a lot of negative outcomes. Now, next we have here is situational procrastination. So situational procrastination occurs when an individual delays tasks due to specific circumstances or contexts. It is typically temporary and related to particular situations rather than being a consistent habit. So an example here basically is an employee who delays completing a particular report because they find it particularly boring or challenging, even though they do not usually procrastinate. So they were given a specific na project na siguro napakahirap. Kaya they said na, okay na lang siguro, we just have to, to gather my strength, or siguro matutulog muna ako sandali, papahinga muna, or di kaya mag-enjoy muna siya so that, like pre-reward siguro before niya babanatan yung kanyang trabaho. But yeah, situational procrastination is just, it's not a habit. It just depends on the situation and then other motivational factors, even in environmental factors, and even cognitive factors then. So again, a lot of things are going to be influencing your reason of procrastination, but usually nakakapares din yung mga rason natin. Now, just a question here. Do we have, I mean, basic siguro, lahat naman siguro tayo na nagpa-procrastinate. Sino ba dito yung hindi nagpo-procrastinate? Meron ba? Do we have participants here that do not procrastinate? I mean, it's gonna be good if you're not doing that. Wala naman siguro. I think all of us naman yata na at least nakasubok once or twice. Not the chronic procrastination siguro, but just a situational one, I think. But yeah, again, these are the two types of procrastination. So we have here sometimes. Well, thank you for being honest from Ella Rose. It's fine to be honest. The sooner that you realize and then admit to yourself na talaga nagpo-procrastinate ka, the sooner you can solve the problem. But hopefully you see it as a problem, right? Kasi it's not enough of na ma-identify natin yan. We have to also admit that this is like a personal issue. I mean, I do tend to do this, but more on situational procrastination. Lalo kapag you know, mahirap yung project na ginagawa namin o di kaya si client medyo napaka-demanding. So, you try to delay a bit. Kasi nakakainis din minsan eh. But yeah, Ella Rose depends task, yeah. That's true. I mean, there will be tasks naman din talaga na because of their complexity o di kaya may hinihintay tayong makatulong sa atin, or you're waiting for some kind of like support, then you do get to procrastinate. Lalo pag hindi fully yung full yung knowledge natin in line with the task. So it's fine to do procrastination in that sense. Now, we have here the illusions of procrastination. So while you may think that procrastination puts you in a better place, it doesn't. It is just an illusion because you think, at least nakapag-relax po muna ako ngayon, right? So there's something important that you need to do, so you try to delay it. So at that point na kung saan nag-delay tayo, you feel napaka-relax mo, nagsa-cellphone ka lang, nanonood ka ng video, you feel as if, you know, you're the king of the world, or you're the queen of the world, 'di ba? Na ang saya-saya mo na sa cellphone ka lang, 'di ba? Naka-figure four ka pa or nakapato yung paa mo ewan ko, sa lamesa ba ngayon or ewan. So of course you have to realize that these are all just the illusions, right? Again, so the fact that everything turned out fine made you think that procrastinating did not bring about any negative effects. In fact, to you, it has a few supposed benefits, and you believed to it blindly. So we have here, number one, leaving the task to the last minute creates a sense of urgency, which appears to boost your productivity, giving you higher output per unit time spent working. Like so, to explain further, this is the false sense of urgency. Ang ginagawa kasi natin, for example, you have an 8-hour period of work, right? And then you were only assigned one project, but it was a very important one, and then napakadaming complexity and so on. So you feel na baka kaya mo siyang tapusin in just a few hours time, right? So you try to date, siguro in the afternoon, sinimulan mo siya mga 1 p.m. So you cram it up, nag-cram ka from 1 to 5, and then you felt na parang ang dami kong nagawa ngayon. Parang ganyan, di ba? It's just an illusion, right? As you can see here, it appears to boost your productivity because it's putting in a way na you're providing higher output per unit of time spent working. Kasi in just like 4 hours time, you're able to finish a lot of things. But it would have been better kung na-spread natin siya all throughout the day when the pressure is not too high, and then you would have had time to perfect the other aspects of your project. Diba? You would have been able to achieve more than the expectation of the client, which would have brought siguro more revenue and even commissions to you if you would have done even better. So you're just creating the sense of illusion na you're doing more because what you did is just binawasan natin yung time. And then since all of your tasks were all important, you try to cram it up in just a few hours time. That's why it creates this sense of no, that false sense of urgency. Kahit hindi naman siya ganyan ka-urgent, right? So number two, we have you experience short-term relief from not having to deal with a report on some hours or days you decide to skip it on. So this is what I'm trying to say. By the illusion of increased productivity or the perceived absence of negative consequences. Now, in this case kasi nangyayari dyan is yung nga, di ba, nagsa-cellphone ka lang, relax ka lang, di ba? Nanonood ka lang videos and whatnot or even Facebook. So, you feel so relaxed dahil nga nakakapag-relax ka. But you do have to realize meron talagang task na dapat mong gawin. So, if you would have done that sooner, you would have been more relaxed like way after. But yes, I do understand in line with work, hindi naman tatapos yung trabaho natin eh. I mean, I have heard a lot of people say na hindi naman tatapos yung trabaho, bukas meron na namang bago. So if you finish this one today, another one will be sent to you tomorrow. And yes, that's true, maybe. But then again, you do have to realize then na you will have performance reviews, you will have yung mga revenue na quota mo. So all of these things will come at a domino effect. So the more things you've done, diba, the more chances of you siguro having more opportunities, having more even chance of promotion, or even the chance of getting mga bonuses, right? So these are just some of the things na dapat naging sense of motivation natin, or the thing that would spark of you not procrastinating your job. But I do understand na hindi talaga tatapos yung trabaho. The sooner that you finish one, another one will be sent to your table. But the thing is, your boss will not wait for you to finish that specific one. What tends to happen is ano yan, papato yung mga trabaho natin. And then will come stress. There will come yung pagiging overwhelmed natin, nagiging burnout na tayo because of delaying your tasks. And lastly here, we have procrastinating didn't jeopardize anything in the end because you met your deadline. So these are just an illusion, right? So good for you if wala kang nalimutan, right? If you were able to really achieve yung expectation or at least na achieve yung specifications ng client. And even if you were only doing it for just a few days instead of longer days pa sana, 'di ba? What happened was yun nga, di ba, nag-cram ka. I mean, you did everything in just a few days' time. Supposedly, dapat mas mahaba ba yung time natin when you could have spread it all evenly na hindi ka ganyan ka-stress rather than leaving out on just a few days left na yung nga, naging stress ka, na overwhelmed ka, even at times naging fatigue ka pa, and not even mentioning na nag-overtime ka just to ano just to compensate for all the time spent doing other things. But yes, you do get that kind of illusion na hindi naman naka-jeopardize, hindi naman naka-apekto yung pag-procrastinate mo kasi na-achieve mo naman yung deadline. But rest assured, there will really come a time na, you know, you will really suffer the consequences of this. Lalo kapag ka natatamba ka na ng trabaho, so there. But then again, I do understand kapag ka situational procrastination lang because you really understand your work, you understand kung kailan pumapasok yung ating mga projects or whatnot, then I guess having procrastination for a few hours or so, siguro ganyan. But then again, it would be better if we could start as early as possible and finish as early as possible too. Right? The more time for us to relax and focus on other things. Procrastination as a symptom of an issue. Now, to overcome procrastination, you must first realize that procrastination isn't the real issue. Okay, so nagiging ano lang siya, nagiging result lang siya, basically. So procrastination is just the symptom of the issue. So the same goes for laziness, poor time management, and lack of discipline. Many people are quick to pinpoint these are the root causes of their problems because they are almost accessible answers. The real reason is actually deeper than that. So meron pang mas malalim na dahilan. Again, to overcome procrastination, you must first realize that procrastination isn't the real issue kasi meron talagang underlying na dahilan kung ano yung nagiging ano. Kasi nga, procrastination is just the symptom. So there's like this root cause where it's coming from, where it's stemming from. Okay, so similar again to kapares ng pagiging tamad natin, siguro yung poor time management as mentioned here, lack of self-discipline. So, ito yung nagiging pinaka-easy na nagiging scapegoat ng mga tao. That's why they have, yung mga issues nila na face because of procrastination. Ika nga. So, we have here an analogy which we call the mosquito bites, right? So what happens when you get a mosquito bite? Yung ba mga lamok, right? So most people will scratch it. Some people will put ointment or apply an antiseptic cream. The itch from bite is alleviated and soon it heals. So kapag nakagat ng lamok, of course that will become itchy. So what you do is meron kang ilalagay na cream so that the itch will be gone, right? However, is the problem really solved? Diba, is the itch really the problem? You have to divert your focus on whether ano yung source ng itch. Was it actually that mosquito bite or is it actually the mosquito itself, right? So it is not. The mosquito bite came from the mosquito. Until the mosquito is out of the picture, you will continue to get new bites. So it's just finding out ano yung pinaka-issue natin, right? So yeah, so this is a very good analogy and a lot of reasons can stem from a lot of things, but you just have to realize ano yung pinaka-dahilan kung bakit nagpo-procrastinate tayo, which we will be learning on the next pages. Now, just touching in a bit the cornerstones of procrastination. So number one, procrastination can be a form of self-handicapping where individuals create obstacles to their own success to have an excuse for potential failure. By procrastinating, they can attribute any failure to a lack of time or preparation rather than the lack of ability. Okay, so that you really have to understand that. Kasi nga, para bang hinahandicap yung sarili natin. Because procrastinating is a personal choice. So, if you choose to do something in just a few hours time na nahihirapan ka, nasa-stress ka na masyado, and then there might be a very huge risk that the client will not be satisfied with your work, or your teacher will actually grade you very low, or hindi mo maabot yung grades na gusto mo ma-achieve. That's why procrastination is an act or act as a form of self-handicapping. Ikaw yung mismong, you're actually digging your own grave in this case, right? So again, na kung saan ikaw yung kumag-create ng sarili mong obstacle para sa iyong success to have an excuse for potential failure. So that kapag ka nagkaroon ka ng issue, kapag ka nag-fail ka, you're gonna really, ipapasa or ating ibabalin yung dahilan because of procrastination. But it could be other things. It could be your fear. 'Di ba? Your fear na baka siguro hindi magustuhan ng teacher mo yung trabaho mo, or baka hindi magustuhan ng client yung creativity mo, or hindi magustuhan ng output. So you try to delay on stuff. So this is just one of the very reasons for that. Okay, so next we have procrastinators tend to engage in all or nothing thinking, whether they believe that if they cannot complete a task perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. This mindset can lead to significant delays or complete avoidance of tasks. So again, the all or nothing thinking. So procrastinators often engage in all or nothing thinking, na kung saan yung isang tao is naniniwala siya na kung hindi nila kaya tapusin yung isang bagay in its perfect form, 'di ba? Yung naging perfectionist tayo. So hindi siya worth it gawin, right? So if I'm not going to do something in its perfect state, then might as well di ko na siya dapat gawin. Because I don't want to be seen as a person na yung mga output ko is not close, if not perfect. I mean close to perfect. So this perfectionist mindset can lead to significant delays or complete avoidance talaga sa mga task because of the fear of not meeting their own, right? Okay, so take note, their own high standards prevents them from starting yung kanilang, ano man yung mga task na yan, or even continuing. So nasimulan nila, hindi na tinapos because they think na parang pangit talaga. Parang may kulang, or feel ko hindi pumapasa sa aking own standards, right? So they may wait for the perfect moment to begin, which often never comes, resulting in procrastination. So the all or nothing. So kung, you get the point. So when a task is seen, like number 3, when a task is seen as irrelevant or unimportant, individuals are less likely to prioritize it. So this perception can lead to procrastination as the task is deemed not worth the effort. So the perception of irrelevance. So yung paniniwala natin na hindi importante, or hindi siya relevant, or hindi siya worth it gawin. So when a task is seen as irrelevant or hindi siya importante, yung mga tao are likely to, hindi siya ipaprioritize basically. Iba yung gagawin niya instead of that specific thing. So if a task is deemed not worth the effort, so it becomes easy to put in favor yung ibang activities na siguro mas favorable siya, mas exciting, mas fun, mas worth it basically. This perception can lead to procrastination basically kasi nga you're trying to choose the other stuff na yes, dapat mong gawin din, but never forgetting that the task na procrastinate natin is also a vital part of your job or your schooling or whatever activities na you are enrolled with. Okay? So this actually causes procrastination. Okay? So again, we have self-handicapping, we have the all or nothing thinking, and we have the perception of irrelevance or unimportance. Okay? So those are the cornerstones of procrastination. Now, moving over to the 4 main types of procrastinators. And number 1 that we'd like to discuss first is what we call the performer. Okay? So yung pinaka motto niya in life is I work well under pressure. So yun yung pinaka niya. So this procrastinator force themselves to focus by shrinking the time they have to tackle a task. Biggest challenge niya is kailan siya magsisimula, or even pagsisimula ng isang task or project or whatnot. And then what we're seeing here as a solution is, of course, you have to flip the script, right? So you have to set a start date. Because when you're focused on when you're going to begin a task and not when you hope to end it, you'll take tremendous amount of pressure off of yourself. Okay, so let me put this into perspective. Kasi may mga tao kasi na why they end up procrastinating is that they focus on kailan nila gusto tapusin. So, if you will have to already assess because siguro due to your length of experience, due to your skills na nagather mo rin all throughout the years, because of your expertise on the matter, so you know exactly that when you're being assigned something, alam natin na kaya na tapusin in just 4 hours time or even 3 hours time. And then, since your aim is to finish by 5 p.m., you subtract 5 p.m. by 4 hours. So, ano yung magiging kinalabasan niyan? Yun yung magiging start date mo or starting time, right? So, if it's 5 p.m. yung gusto mo mahabol, so minus 4, that's gonna be 1 p.m. Okay? So, that's the mindset na nangyayari with the performer. But if you flip the script and if you kumbaga babaguhin natin yung kanyang calculation instead of end time minus estimated time of performing or performance siguro whatever ano yung pinaka magandang term dyan, and then you will get the start date. Why not flip it over in calculating starting time plus starting time plus estimated time of completion, something like that. So makukuha mo yung pinaka-specific time. So I want to start at 8 a.m. plus 4, I would have been finished by 12 p.m. Right? So mas papaga yung trabaho natin because you started early and then by your estimation, just the number of hours na na-estimate natin for that specific task, then you would have already been able to have done that at an earlier time. But of course, if you choose 1 p.m., then it's the same thing. So it's always better to start as early as possible. Lalo kapag ka-urgent siya or ano. So just wanted to check, sino ba dito yung mga performer? Do we have some performers here na ganito yung kanilang calculation sa life? Sino yung mga performer natin dito? No worries po, there's no judgment naman dito eh. Wala naman po. Okay, that's good. Ano, hindi po performer si Ma'am Cristel. That's good. But how about the other ones? Wala talaga. That's wonderful if you're not doing this. But if ever you do find yourself in a situation wherein nagiging ganito yung calculation natin, so try to flip it over and decide when you're going to start. Eh, alam mo na talaga ma-estimate mo na yan kung ilang oras mo gagawin sa trabaho. Lalo kapag paulit-ulit na, same project, same client. So alam natin kung kaya natin matatapos, right? So there we go. That's the performer. And then again, yun yung naging solution niya. And then the biggest challenge is when you're going to start. So moving over to the next type of procrastinator, we call them the self-deprecator. So yung pinaka-slogan niya for the self-deprecator is that I'm so lazy right now. Tinatabad ako ngayon, right? So this procrastinator is the opposite of lazy. So when they don't do something, they are extra hard on themselves. They tend to blame inaction on laziness or stubbornness rather than admit they are tired. Yung pinaka-biggest challenge niya is actually yung taking a break. No, so ang pinaka-solution dito is recharge, try taking a walk to give yourself space and to begin to rebuild your energy. So may mga procrastinator din that are being too hard on themselves. So as mentioned in the definition here, and by the very characteristics of this type of procrastinator, is that they constantly criticize themselves for their perceived na tamad sila or they lack the motivation. But never even ano admitting to themselves that they are tired, napagod lang sila. It's not because they're lazy, it's just that people do have their set of limits, right? We have our limitations sa ating energy all throughout the day, lalo kapag we're at home, and whenever we come home, we have some kids na alagaan pa natin, you're gonna feed them, you're gonna cook for them, may iba pati paliliguan pa, and dahil kapag matagal matulog yung anak mo, then all kinds of things happens at home. And even if we want to separate your your personal life to your work, sometimes nag-overlap talaga yan. lalo kapag ka-energy yung pinag-uusapan natin. Because you don't have a separate battery for your, siguro sa house battery mo, tsaka sa work battery mo. You only have one battery, which is you, yourself. Di ba? Yung social battery mo, yung, I don't know, what, your life energy basically, right? So the behavior na nangyayari dito is that you use negative self-talk. Ba, tamad ka kasi, kaya hindi mo natapos yung mga trabaho mo, or hindi ka pa nakakapagsimula, kaya ano eh, kaya, yung mahirap sa'yo, kaya tamad ka kasi, parang ganyan. But you're trying to talk to yourself in a such a way na you're looking at yourself in a negative perspective. Now, this could often lead to, feeling of guilt, tsaka yung pagiging ashamed because of your inability to start your task. So an example here is yung kapag yung employee who repeatedly puts off work, then scolds themselves for being lazy and ano, unproductive, but never hindi niya ina-appreciate din na busy siya sa ibang bagay, so therefore meron siya ibang bagay na na-procrastinate niya, right? So yung pinaka-biggest challenge dito again is taking a break. So sometimes you just have to, try to take a walk, maybe go outside a bit. Kapag bibili ka ng ulam, try to appreciate the surroundings. Pero kung puro naman din mga sasakyan, mga usok, traffic, and then meron ka pang makakasalubong na babangga sa'yo, and then sila pa yung magagalit, right? So I do understand na hindi siya nakakatulong. But yes, trying to put yourself away from work would actually help a lot. Go outside a bit, maybe have siguro a bottle of refreshments, siguro mga soft drinks ba ngayon, or mga, again, milk tea or even ice cream, something that would take your mind off of work. And then just promise yourself that once you're done with this, once I'm done relaxing, hindi naman siguro pwede mag-over break siguro, I'm gonna go back and start my job immediately. I'm gonna stop my negative self-talk and appreciate myself for all the other good things I've done, not for the things that I haven't done. Di ba? Really appreciate yourself sa mga bagay na nagawa natin, and not see yourself or base your value on mga bagay na hindi mo nagawa. Okay? Always appreciate yourself. I mean, yun siguro pinaka best na solution dito. Okay, so do we have some mga self-deprecator dito, yung mga negative self-talkers? So just another poll. Wala pa rin. Wala tayong mga negative self-talkers dito. Am I like this sometimes? Ah, it's hard to tell. But yeah. But at least, if ever you fall within this particular na group or type, at least you know how to solve it. Diba? But do realize po na kapag pagod na talaga tayo, try to recharge, right? So, lalo kapag meron tayong mga holiday offs or meron tayong mga vacation leaves, don't be afraid to use that. But I do understand na you're saving it on the rainy days, mga birthday ng anak natin, di ba? Or di kaya mayroong mga other important matters, right? So, mga planned mga trips, right? Siguro may mga piso sale siguro or whatnot. But again, try to use those, okay? Appreciate the good things that you've done. So that's really important. Okay, so moving over to the overbooker. So yung pinaka-slogan nila is, I am so busy. Right? So this procrastinator is a pro at filling up their calendar and is often overwhelmed, even too overwhelmed. I'm so busy is probably the excuse we hear most often. Rather than facing a challenge head on or admitting they don't want to do something, it's easier to place the blame on having other important things to do. So yung pinaka-biggest challenge nila dito is creating focus or focusing on one thing. So the solution also here, or rather yung pinaka-big challenge is creating focus, and then the solution is to take a moment of introspection, ask yourself, what am I really avoiding? Ano ba talagang iniiwasan sa trabaho niyan? Right? Because the very characteristic of overbooker again is that they feel overwhelmed dahil sa dami ng number of commitments ng mga tasks nila. Right? So these are the people na they're already taking care of a lot of things. And then they would like to take on more. I don't know. Siguro marami siyang dahilan kung bakit niya tinatake lahat yan. Because of, siguro, the chances of commissions, or the chances of mga bonuses and whatnot, right? Or the feeling of naging hero ka. I mean, there's like a lot of people na nakikita ko rin na, you know, they would like to be seen as a person na talagang natatakbuhan mo or kapag merong mga importanteng mga project, sila agad yung mag-volunteer. I mean, I have this in my team, but I do try to balance it out na all of them will have the same amount of projects. But of course, I have to base it on experience as well. But then again, based on their capacity, and ito yung binibigay ko sila, but a little more than their capacity para nagkakaroon pa rin sila ng development. But if it's you who's doing that, then it's a little bit wrong, right? So never commit to something na hindi mo kayang gawin. Lalo kapag busy ka na among the other things. Lalo kapag marami kang, like, this is an important client, this is a VIP, or siguro this is a client of yours na talagang matagal na, and even the boss knows that person, then really put that into perspective and make that your priority. But of course, never forgetting the other projects that you committed to as well, right? So, yung nga, di ba, yung pinaka-biggest challenge na is creating focus. So, the very important thing here is time management, organizational skills, and being able to prioritize your task based on urgency and importance. Right? So, those things are really, really important. Really check those tasks. Again, kung ano yung pinaka-urgent, ano yung pinaka-important, always make that your priority on your whole day or for the first part of your day. Okay? So that's why here, take a moment of introspection, ask yourself, ano ba talaga iniiwasan ko? Because sometimes maybe you're just avoiding a specific project because siguro it stems from a fear of failure or being you as a perfectionist. Or siguro, as mentioned earlier, as the cornerstone of procrastination is that you have this perception of irrelevance or unimportance. So you're seeing this something as di naman siguro ganyan ka-importante yan, or you know, so basically you're just seeing it in such a way na parang ganyan. Or you're an all or nothing thinker. Ba yung mga examples din kanina? Or you're just self-handicapping. You're just basically procrastinating everything there is. Okay? So yun yung mga overbooker. So hopefully wala pong mga overbooker sa atin. Kasi you will really be too overwhelmed, and then sometimes sila yung mga tao talaga na nag-quit sa trabaho. Kasi there will come a time na talagang magi-give up ka na. Marami na masyadong problema, marami masyadong project, and then a lot of clients are going back at you dahil hinahabol yung mga hiningi nila, and then you are not able to reply kasi nga sa dami ng hinahandle natin. So, you try to tend to go absent or nagiging late ka na. Yun yung kahirapan ng mga overbooker. Not realizing ano yung pinaka-capacity nila. And then what's important and what's not important. Okay, so moving over to the novelty seeker, we have their slogan as "I just had the best idea." Yung this procrastinator has a terminal case of shiny object syndrome, or let's just call it the SOS. So they're constantly coming up with new projects to take on and then getting bored with them a week later. They are intrigued by the latest trend and will be quick to implement, but not follow through. Yung pinaka-biggest challenge niya is the completion of task. Diba? Yung pinaka-solution din dito, as mentioned, is write down new ideas or projects on a paper, but don't pursue them until you finish what you are currently working on. So there we go. So unlike the overbooker is just mga tao palaging accept ng trabaho, right? So overcommitting of task, of projects or assignments, or mga voluntarism and whatnot. But the novelty seeker is those people na frequently gets distracted by new ideas and exciting projects. Nakikita niya na, uy, napaka-interesting nito, panibagong experience na naman, panibagong client. So I'm gonna be really motivated sa paggawa nito. That's why it's called the shiny object syndrome. Kasi nga ito yung pinaka-shiny, ito yung pinaka-interesting, ito yung pinaka-unique among the others. So that's why they tend to be more attracted to this kind of tasks, right? So in line with the behavior of the novelty seeker, they procrastinate by jumping from one new idea or task to another. talon-talon sila ng mga task, abandoning previous ones in favor of the latest intriguing opportunity. So dahil nga yung mga previous na nakuha niya is hindi na ganyan ka-interesting, so nababalin yung kanyang attention on a different projects. Kasi nga yun yung pinakabagong shiny object. So an example here is that, for example, isang writer, right? Isang book writer who starts multiple drafts. So meron siyang ginagawang story sa fiction, meron siyang meron siyang a love story, and then meron siyang horror siguro. And then yung pinaka niya is horror. Yun din yung mga nagiging uso ngayon, yung mga mga nakakatakot na mga stories, right? I am a horror fan. So I do understand this. But yeah. Pero dahil nga na mas nagiging shiny yung horror story, nalilimutan niya yung draft niya about the fiction tsaka yung romantic story niya. Doon siya mas nagpo-focus. Even though the other two, siguro maganda na yung simulan niya, pwede siyang siguro may chances of it becoming a bestseller or even adapted into Netflix movies or whatnot, right? So, as mentioned, the solution here is that you have to write down the new ideas or projects on a paper. And then, hindi mo natin sila i-pursue, right? What you're trying to do here is that you're trying to create a list on what you're going to do or what you're going to take on the next time, right after finishing the one that you already have right now. Okay? So, yun yung pinaka-solution talaga ng novelty seeker. So, again, hopefully we don't have that novelty seeker here in our group. But if ever there are, at least you know exactly what to do. Okay, always finish what you've started. That's really important. Never forgetting the specifications, the timelines, the deliverables, client expectations, and even the company expectations in your performance. That's really important. You know, complete delivery of your projects in line with the budget and the timelines. Yun yung pinaka-importante dyan. Okay. So let's watch this video on what procrastination looks like by How to ADHD. Do let me know po kapag hindi natin marinig yung, yung audio.
Hello, brains. So, I was supposed to do this video last month. Let's talk about procrastination. Procrastination, noun, is the tendency to delay activities that have to be completed before a deadline, often despite knowing there will be negative consequences for doing so. Our procrastination can be productive. We might actually get a lot done, just not the thing we intended to get done. It can also be not so productive. Everyone procrastinates sometimes, but those of us with ADHD tend to do it more often. And there are reasons for this. There are greater advantages for us than there are for neurotypical brains to waiting until closer to a deadline because the difference in our ability to focus can be huge. Also, those with ADHD have shorter time horizons. Things don't land on our mental plate until closer to a deadline. That sense of urgency of, oh shoot, I gotta do this now, doesn't kick in until later than it does for neurotypical brains. And we get this huge dopamine hit when we succeed. Dopamine tells us, whatever you did, that felt good, do it again. And that in turn incentivizes future procrastination. Because we procrastinate more often, it's easy to assume that whenever we're not actively working on the thing we're supposed to be working on, we're procrastinating. So first of all, not everything that looks like procrastination is procrastination. Sometimes we're planning. Sometimes we're transitioning from one task to the next. Sometimes we just realized something else was more important and or urgent and reprioritized. And sometimes we're just taking a break. We need breaks. We're humans, not robots. Actually, even robots need to recharge. Even if it is procrastination, it turns out not all procrastination is created equal. According to research, there are two main types of procrastination: active procrastination and passive procrastination. Passive procrastination is basically unintentional procrastination. You totally intend to do the thing eventually, but in the meantime, you're avoiding thinking about it. It is the head in the sand version of procrastination. Since it's never really taken off your mental plate, passive procrastination can be draining because you're working on it without actually working on it. The reason we passively procrastinate is we get a temporary reduction in immediate anxiety, especially when we engage in self-soothing behaviors, playing video games instead of calling the dentist. But the wall of awful just gets bigger, so we might want to avoid thinking about the task more, which makes us less likely to be able to figure out what to do and when to do it, which makes us less likely to do it, which makes us lose a tooth. Hi. Passive procrastination is often rooted in anxiety and sometimes perfectionism. We're intimidated by a task and so we avoid it, especially if we're not confident in ourselves or our ability to do the thing. Active procrastinators are defined as those individuals who prefer to work under pressure and thus make deliberate decisions to procrastinate. An active procrastinator decides to put something off until later, like wait to clean their house until their friend is already on the way, and then actually cleans their house when that friend is on their way. They feel confident putting it off because they know they'll be able to get it done. And it's a very ADHD experience. We're often not avoiding a task, we just know it will be easier to get started closer to the deadline, so we put it off until that sense of urgency kicks in and flips the switch from not now to now. For active procrastinators, the negative consequences are often outweighed by the positive. If we're more focused, it's easier to do and takes less time to complete, and then it's immediately turned in and off our mental plate, so we don't have the chance to overthink it. So many of us often start actively procrastinating as teenagers when we have enough autonomy that we can choose when to get our work done, but projects are still simple enough that they can usually get done at the last minute. The thought process is something like, I can get this done the night before and it's due in 2 months? Why would I start on it now? Interestingly, one study found that active procrastinators and passive procrastinators procrastinate to the same degree, but the outcome of that procrastination was very different. In fact, active procrastinators were more similar to non-procrastinators than to passive procrastinators, and they even had similar academic outcomes. And because active procrastination is intentional, some researchers argue it doesn't even count as procrastination. That said, the degree to which we can actively procrastinate varies as tasks become more complex. Plus, the outcome kind of depends on how good we are at predicting how long they will take. It's unrealistic to expect anyone to not procrastinate at all, especially when there are times it actually benefits us to do so. Instead, experts suggest learning to recognize when it actually is procrastination, and if so, is it active or passive? What are the benefits of procrastinating? And what is it going to cost? In other words, if you're going to procrastinate mindfully. If you'd like to learn more about procrastination, I've linked to some resources in the description below, and you can check out our productivity playlist for other tools to help us get stuff done.
Okay, so that's it about that video. So yeah, procrastination is really a wide topic to discuss, because even the psychologists themselves are arguing whether if it's if it's procrastination or not. So it totally depends. So as mentioned in the video, you could either be active procrastinator or you can be a passive procrastinator, or you could be you could have chronic procrastination, or you're just doing the situational procrastination, right? So it totally depends. There are procrastination na siguro kailangan because you have to reprioritize your task, or maybe you're just taking on breaks dahil kailangan mo pahinga, right? Or you're just trying to transition from one task to another, or whatnot, right? There are going to be a lot of reasons. Pero procrastination sometimes is important because of other things. Okay? So we have the psychological factors in procrastination. So the number one, nagiging dahilan on why a person does procrastinate is the fear of failure. Is the apprehension that no one will not succeed or meet expectations. So this fear can paralyze individuals, preventing them from starting or completing tasks because they are afraid of the potential negative outcomes. Okay, the fear of failure. Now, the avoidance here is that individuals may avoid starting tasks to avoid the possibility of failing. Takot silang mag-fail, basically. So preferring to not try at all rather than risk a poor outcome. So better they're being regarded as a person na hilig mag-procrastinate, tamad, rather than being seen as a person na hindi talaga marunong, walang expertise, hindi perfect, right? So they're rather choosing becoming a procrastinator rather than a failure, right? So yun yung nagiging ano nila. Again, an example here, student avoid starting a major project because they fear it won't meet their teacher's high standards and result in a poor grade. Okay, yun yung nagiging ano nila. How to say this? That their actual reason, right? So here are the strategies to overcome fear of failure. So understanding the psychological factor of fear of failure is crucial in addressing procrastination. By recognizing and addressing this fear, individuals can develop healthier coping mechanisms and reduce procrastination tendencies. Below are the strategies to overcome fear of failure. Number one, you have to shift your mindset. So reframe failure as a learning opportunity rather than a negative outcome. Because sometimes, diba, even yung pinakasikat ng mga tao, pinakamatilin ng mga tao, Even si Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, si Bill Gates, ito ba yung mga sikat na mga tao? Those rich people all experience failures in their life, but they never saw failure as something that defined who they were or who they are, but they saw failure as a learning curve. Ito yung nakita nila na failure pala is something where they could learn something from. So, it's just understanding where you failed. That's why it's important for some people na kapag nabigyan silang mababang grado sa kanilang mga projects, they tend to ask what were the reasons why na ito nabigay na grado sa kanila. And then if you're ever given so, always ask the reason why. Whether you're trying to aim for perfection the next time or not, always ask kung bakit yan yung nabibigay sa atin. Because it tends to give that sense of rationalization on why you failed or even came off as shortcomings sa ating mga nasubmit or sa ating mga nagawa. So at the next time, it will come off as naging ano siya, subconscious siya in such a way na your brain will try to prevent from these things even if you don't remember those things. Magiging part na siya sa standard mo na dapat ganito pala, dapat babantayan ko, siguro dapat ito yung dapat ganito kahaba or I'm gonna include this particular aspects or tutukan ko yung bagay na to. It will become part of your standards for yourself, right? So always ask your kung bakit nagiging dahilan siya or bakit siya nag-fail. Okay? So set realistic goals. So establish achievable and realistic goals to reduce the pressure of high expectations. So yes, always set realistic goals. When you set realistic goals, talagang achievable siya. Hindi siya imposible. Okay? Based on your resources right now, based on your skills, based on the support that you will have, based on your environmental factors, based on your resources, basically all of your resources. What is gonna be the possible goal na pwede kong i-align based on what I have right now? Those are your realistic goals. So next we have incremental progress. Focus on making incremental progress rather than completing the task perfectly in one go. Incremental, ibig sabihin, para siyang step-by-step procedure, right? So there's gonna be steps to which how you're going to achieve that, okay? So rather than starting it today and finishing it in the afternoon, it's not gonna be perfect. Everyone needs a rest. Everyone needs you know, to regroup themselves para makapag-unwind a bit so that they can refill their creative juices or kanilang social battery or kanilang, you know, yourself basically. Para makapag-reset tayo basically. Okay? So moving over to the next one, which is perfectionism. So perfectionism is the desire to achieve flawless results and the tendency to set excessively high standards for oneself. Perfectionists often focus on avoiding mistakes and imperfections. So the impact of procrastination here, overwhelm. So the desire to achieve perfect results can be overwhelming, leading individuals to delay tasks until they feel they can perform them perfectly. Okay, an example here, an artist delays starting a painting because they fear it won't be perfect, leading to constant revisions and an inability to complete the work. Puro changes, puro adjustments, puro revision, puro amendments, right? Dahil they see it as if hindi siya magiging perfect. A lot of visual artists, a lot of graphic designers are like this, like mga painters na example, in this one, writers, anything that is getting out of their creativity. Ito yung nagiging dahilan nila because the sense of perfectionism. Even at school, yung mga taong gumagawa ng mga essays because your teacher will ask you your resolutions in life, diba, yung my New Year's resolution, or what I did back in summer, or an essay about the life of Rizal, or whatever essay it may be from. Diba, you tend to always change whatever you have done because you think it's not it's not gonna do you justice in such a way na do I want to be recognized as a person with this kind of um work? Baka sabihin ng teacher ko na I lack the creativity, I lack originality, so therefore I have to make constant revision. So puro yung basurahan nila puno ng mga crumpled paper because of always revising something, or di kayang papel nila puro scratch out, puro deletion and whatnot. But yeah, the kids nowadays will not feel that kasi puro naman laptop yung gamit nila. So good for them. So they just have to click on backspace a lot of time or control A delete, right? But perfectionism really does have this impact on being too overwhelmed, right? And then at the end of the day, baka hindi mo pa matapos, or even delays, or even the total cancellation, right? So because of being perfect or wanting to be perfect. So strategies: set realistic goals as well, achieving realistic goals rather than aiming for perfection, right? So break tasks into smaller, manageable steps to reduce the pressure. So whenever you're looking at something as a step or as a whole project itself, divide it by yung mga aspects niya, yung mga sections niya, so you can focus on one. Rather than focusing at as a whole, marami kang ma-miss out, marami kang hindi mababantayan. So really try to set realistic goals na talagang ma-achieve mo, and then doing it in a manageable chunks. So embrace mistakes. Understand that mistakes are part of the learning process. Allow yourself to make errors and achieve them or view them as opportunities for growth. So the same as the first one, always see mistakes as something that's vital, that's crucial for one's development and growth. So kapag nagkakamali tayo, nalalaman natin kung saan tayo nagkakaroon ng lapses in terms of our skills, with our creativity, di ba? With our thinking. So that the next time you're going to be encountering the same experience, it's going to be much easier because you already know what to do, you know what to focus on. Focus on progress. So concentrate on the progress you're making rather than the end result. Celebrate small achievements along the way to maintain motivation. So celebrate mini milestones. So especially yung mga short-term goals natin and the long-term goals, always have to appreciate the little ones because this is showing progress. This is trying the incremental progress, such a way na when you take on a new milestone or naka-achieve tayo ng isang maliit lang na success, celebrate a bit. Thank yourself. Have a bit of uh, a few minutes to relax a bit, and then go back in again. Okay? Always important to take breaks at times. Next, we have the lack of motivation. So lack of motivation is a state where an individual has little to no desire to engage in a task. This can stem from lack of interest, perceived irrelevance of the task, or low energy levels. Diba? The lack of motivation. Hindi ka masyadong motivate sa trabaho mo or sa task mo. So here, the impact of procrastination, low energy. When individuals feel mentally or physically exhausted, they may lack the drive to start or continue tasks. Or that, pagod na talaga sila, hence, hindi sila nakakapagsimula or even continue their task. An example here, an employee delays working on routine paperwork because they find it tedious and uninspiring, paulit-ulit, routine tasks, leading to a backlog of unfinished tasks, right? So rather than viewing it in something as boring, view it on the line of its importance. Importante siya, so you have to do it. Not because it's interesting, not because it's enjoyable. That's why you're gonna do it. View it rather just looking at it in that way. Change your mindset. But let's see if ano yung pinaka dito. So by addressing the underlying cause flow motivation and implementing practical solutions, individuals can enhance their productivity and reduce procrastination. Now, below are the strategies to overcome lack of motivation. So number one, find intrinsic motivation. So identify personal reasons for completing the task. Connecting the task to personal goals or values can increase motivation. Find whatever it is within you na ano yung natutulong niya sa inyo. Right? If it's helping you personally in terms of your growth, career development or whatnot, so find intrinsic motivation. Create a reward system. Establishing a reward system for task completion can provide external motivation. Rewards can range from small treats to more significant incentives, such as pagbili ng mga kahit anong mga items. You can buy your own iPhone ngayon or bagong phone ba ngayon, or just eating snacks or eating like desserts or whatnot, treating yourself at a buffet na ikaw lang siguro, or I don't know, buying something that you really like whenever you have yung mga small wins, right? But if you're gonna keep doing that, sure as na mauubos lang yung pera natin. So just try to celebrate when it's actually deemed necessary. But celebrate such a way, kapag relax ka, manonood ka ng movie or whatnot, hindi magastos sa celebration. So next, break tasks into manageable steps, just like what we have discussed earlier. Dividing large tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces can make them less daunting and easier to start, okay? So off we go with our activity. It's just gonna be a very quick one, and we call this the jumbled letters. Okay, so here are our instructions. So hi, set of participants, let's play a game. In jumbled words, all you need to do is to arrange the words we shuffled. You may type your answers using the chat box, and the first one to guess po will be given good fortune or suswertehin yung makakakuha ng mga first words natin. Okay? So ready your keyboards po or your phone, and then type in your answer and guess what this word is. Okay, let's see kung may makakahula ba nito. So we have our first guess. So how many are there in the group? So we have around 16 people. So marami rin po yung mga participants natin ngayon. That's good. So how many do we have now? 1, 2, 3, and 4. How about the other ones? Great. Okay, good. Okay, marami nakakuha natin. Okay. So I guess everything will all be the same naman din siguro. So let's see if it's the right word. It's actually laziness. And yes, it is. Very good. And sino nakakuha ng unang answer? We have here Sir Erwin. Thank you so much, sir. That's 1 point for you. And of course, for everyone that have followed through as well. Next word we have is, whoa. Okay, we have 2 answers, 3, 4. Okay, keep in coming, guys. Oh, naging buo po yung natin, spelling natin. So do try to check the letters once again. So we only have one Tion. And then we have a letter E as well. There we go. So pretty much everyone else said the same thing. We have procrastination. But if you look at the spelling po, okay, so we have your few ones din nakakuha din eventually. So the first one who got the right answer, si Ma'am Clarice. Okay, there we go. So if you can check the spelling po, it ends with letter E. So therefore, the right answer is procrastinate. So procrastination is very long. There we go. So that's 1 point to Ma'am Clarice and 1 point to Sir Erwin. Thank you so much, you guys. Next word we have is this one. Very easy. Just have to find our. Right, so we have Tion. Thank you so much, you guys. So looking at sino nauna dito, it's Ma'am Elmi. Very good. Thank you so much. And yes, the right answer is motivation. Good job, good job. So that's 1 point to Sir Erwin, Ma'am Christy, and si Ma'am Elmi. Very easy, you guys. So this is the product of procrastination. Once marami na masyadong nakatabak na trabaho sa lamesa mo, or may marami ng mga clients na nag-follow up sa atin, ba? You become too stressed. Good job. So that's another point to Ma'am Elmi. So that's 2 points for you, ma'am. And yes, the right answer po is stress. Good job. And off we go with our last word. Oh my God. Nangyari doon? Tama nga. Tama nga. Okay, I thought this was the right word. Okay. Naging ano, naging pamasahe tuloy. Okay, great. So pretty much everyone else said the same, all coming off as fear. So here, the right one who got the answer is, I think, si Ma'am Elmi pa din. Yes, very good. Thank you so much, Ma'am Elmi. And the right answer is fear. So that's 3 points for you, and 1 point Sir Erwin and si Ma'am Christy then. Okay, thank you so much, you guys, for participating. And now off we go with the last section of our training. And hopefully you have learned quite a bit so far. But yeah, I already skipped the break time kasi nga po, we already, all this, kumbaga sumobra tayo sa time basically. So let's continue po. And hopefully that's fine with you all. And off we go with ways to overcome procrastination. So we have here the steps to overcome procrastination, and this technique involves dividing a large or complex task into smaller, more manageable parts. Each smaller task is easier to start and complete, reducing feelings of being overwhelmed and making the overall project seem more achievable. Below are some techniques that helps you to avoid exhaustion and overcome procrastination. We have set clear goals, we have break tasks, prioritize tasks, Pomodoro technique, um, eliminate distractions, set deadlines, find motivation, and lastly, positive reinforcement. All of which, of course, we're going to be explaining in a bit. So starting with the first one, set clear goals. So define specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So in management terms, we call this SMART goals. So yun po ibig sabihin ng S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time-bound. So all of these things, if you can answer all of these questions, or if you can elaborate ano yung each of these things, that's gonna be all contributing to what your goal is, like S for specific. What are your specific goals, right? Ano yung talagang pinaka gusto mong ma-achieve? And then you have to specify it really clear. It's not as simple as saying na I want to be rich, but you have to specify in what way. I want to be rich by having my own business, a coffee business, or I don't know, quick business or what, right? Measurable, what are your mga milestones na pwede mong celebrate? So in line with creating a business, it's getting the DTI permit. It's about registering your business name, diba? All of these things, buying the raw materials, even the rent of such place, or once you can achieve all of those, that's something that's measurable, right? Achievable, um, operating siguro, kumbaga soft lunch ka na by a specific from a specific place siguro, something that's achievable. Relevant, um anything relevant such as creating a new sense of flavor, or a new flavor, or new siguro na service that you will have in that particular business, something relevant. And then time bound, when are you going to get all of this? When are you trying to achieve this? In 3 months, in 3 years, in 4 years, or in 5 years, or even shorter than that. But to give yourself clear direction and motivation. Clear goals give you a specific target to aim for, which can help reduce overwhelming feeling of not knowing where and when to start. So dapat kasama din yung when. Number 2, we have break tasks. So divide large tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces to make them less daunting and easier to start. Smaller tasks are easier to start by focusing on just one small part. Not just one small, but one part of it. Be it big or small. But yeah, you can overcome the initial resistance to beginning tasks, which is often a significant barrier to productivity. Okay, so I understand why they mentioned the small part. Kasi they just want you to start a bit. Kumbaga, it's just dipping your feet in the water, diba? Susubukan lang natin. Be it napakaliit na task. For as long as you have begun doing your steps, it will create that sense in your mind as if nasimulan mo na, so why not continue until you finish, right? So that's why you have to break your task, especially if it's a really huge and complex project. Never forget to divide those things into smaller parts. Okay? Kung kapag ka ikaw yung leader and then you feel as if it's too overwhelming, never forget that you can delegate your tasks. Yung mga manager po dito sa atin, you know, you can always delegate lalo na when you see it as an opportunity for growth sa ating mga employees. So if it's something that it can help your team to learn a new skill or enhance their experience, then make it a point wherein it's uh, an opportunity for growth, right? So always delegate if it's actually needed. So aside from that, the sooner na ma-separate yung isang task, right? So when you're going to be creating a business, thinking just about it is pretty difficult. But if you divide it into smaller tasks, diba? Getting your valuable na mga certificates and permits, dyan tayo magsisimula. And then moving over to the other parts, you're going to be finding your suppliers. You're going to be looking for mga cheap supplies or mga cheap equipments. And then afterwards, you're going to be looking for a place where you can rent, or even if you do have the funds, a property wherein the location is viable for a business or feasible for a business kasi malapit sa mga ganyan. Right? So if you divide those things into smaller pieces, it gets to be easier because you will see things in perspective. Right? Such a way na alam natin ang dapat focusan, alam natin everything that's going to be related to that particular task. Kung i-break down po yan into smaller manageable chunks, then it gets to be more understandable na less mistakes, na wala tayong nalilimutan din. That's why breaking tasks is really, really important. The next one we have is prioritize tasks. So use prioritization techniques like the Eisenhower matrix to determine which task, what's the image like this? Don't know why. Are most important and urgent and focus on those first. When you prioritize, you clearly define what needs to be done first. This reduces the overwhelming feeling of having too much to do and helps you focus on one task at a time. Okay, just a thing with the Eisenhower matrix. So as mentioned earlier, just try to imagine po, di ba? Meron tayong apat na square, right? 4 equal squares. So yung pinaka first quadrant dyan, yung sa upper left, that's gonna be the urgent and important. So napaka-urgent siya na trabaho and then importante din siya. Right? And then on the second part, we have the not urgent but important. So hindi siya ganyan ka-urgent pero kailangan talaga siyang gawin. Importante siya. So that's gonna be the second quadrant. On the third quadrant, it's not important but it's indeed urgent. Okay? And then on the fourth quadrant, hindi siya importante, hindi rin siya urgent. There we go. Thank you so much, Sanjay. So try to check on your chat, guys. And this is what it looks like. And this image shows us on the first quadrant, diba, urgent and important. So you have to do it now. So talagang gagawin mo siya agad, right? And I would like you all to use this one moving on. So that when you decide on some things, lalo sa mga trabaho natin, and then even at school, right? Always have to check what is urgent and what's important. And then once you have determined that something is so, then do it now. If it's not urgent, but it's important, you have to decide. But you will have to schedule a time to do it. It could be in 3 months' time, or it could be a few days after, it could be a week after. It depends. But exactly, you have to do that because it is indeed important.